Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're going to be doing reactions on men's rights and feminism with the boys in the Discord. So let's get right to this.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Is it too low? Can y'all hear it?
Tuning in for Middle Ground, which is
good.
all about disagreeing.
Yo,
and
off the
having a
rip,
dialogue.
he looked like
Alright, make
Mark
sure you stay around to the
Zuckerberg.
end because we want to discuss more about the ethos of Middle Ground. But
Yeah,
for now,
or like a
hope you
more
enjoy.
human version.
You
Yeah.
said that women are misguided. We are not misguided. We do not need you to shepherd us.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah,
It's one of those.
I already know.
It's one of those. Oh, that look like DOS. Is that DOS?
Oh no.
Hello.
Would you call yourself a feminist?
I would.
Yes, an intersectional feminist.
When you hear the word feminism, what comes to mind?
Marxism?
To me,
What?
feminism is fairness.
I think that it's unfortunately misguided.
Feminism is a flawed movement.
When you hear the phrase men's rights, what comes to mind?
Aggression.
Advocating for the human rights of man as a class.
I start laughing.
What do you hope to get from the conversation today?
I would hope to get some insight and probably, if anything, agree on a lot more than disagreeing.
I actually hope to get a little bit more understanding of why some men think this way.
Do you think there's middle ground between men's rights activists and feminism?
We'll see.
She was about to say no.
Yeah.
Hesitated a little.
Hi, my name is Zach, and I am 24 years old.
Yo, hold on. Wait a
This is
minute.
Chris, I'm a PhD student.
He don't look no damn 24 years old.
Yeah, he looking.
He getting
My name is
catfish.
Zach.
He don't look young. Motherfucker look old.
Nah, he look kind of.
Look how he look kind of buffed out too, bro. Like,
Yeah, he just look like he's a.
This is Chris,
do you
I'm a
mean?
PhD student at the University of Southern
He's a big
California.
swole.
This
and
guy
I'm also
looks
a
old
type
as
one
fuck.
specialist who challenges discrimination against men on college
his
campuses.
mouth is barely moving. You can barely hear what he's saying.
Hi, I'm Derek.
What's up, Derek?
I also go by Brendio. I'm a YouTuber.
Wait, what?
And I'm also known as an incel.
Yo, look at the way she's looking at it, bro. She's like, bro, why are you here? Like, what are you doing here, bro? Like, get the
Hi, my name is Alicia. I am a writer, poet, and teaching artist.
Hi, I currently work in the pet health industry, and I'm 30.
Okay,
I'm 24.
yo, this
I'm a
guy
graduate
making me
student with a
uncomfortable,
degree
and
in
I'm
health
not even there.
sciences, and I'm excited to be here today.
You got all these people with like straight actual careers, man. It's like, yeah, man, I'm a biological scientist, work down in Harvard. Yeah, I'm on this, I'm that scientist, and he's like, yeah, I'm a YouTuber. They call me Brad, the Rad Brad, bro. I'm just out here, like,
Feminists in the left and feminists on the right. Step forward. If this
yo, why he wanna be so close next to him, bro?
I believe men and women are different.
Yeah, he's like leaning into him.
All right, wait, hold on. Question.
I believe men and women are different but equal.
Do y'all believe that?
Well, yeah.
I mean, biologically, yeah, we're different. As
Yeah,
fuck.
obviously, yeah. Yeah, we're different, obviously, but we're not. I don't think we're equal at certain things. Like, there's a lot of things that women's.
Equal as in.
Yeah, like that's such a like a broad question.
It is a very broad question, but it's like a lot of things that girls have more rights and have more privilege of doing things, and it's a lot of things that guys have more rights and more privilege of doing things.
Right.
So it's like we're not really equal, but you know, we're obviously different.
I know as a woman that I don't have the same physical strengths. Men and women are built differently. I think whenever things are built differently, it's for a reason, right? But at the same time, the amount of limits that have been put on women historically, like the fact that not too long ago we were just allowed to like start voting. Even today, like the wage gap, just all types of stuff. Like women just don't have a lot of rights that
They
are
said the
just-
wage
they
gap,
should have-
like they talking about like
I'm
money
sorry.
wise.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What?
That's,
Wage
uh,
gap
that's just
doesn't
sorry.
exist.
Yeah,
I don't.
sorry.
Yeah, I don't think that exists either. Cause, and
Yeah, I
even if
mean-
it did, I feel like women make way more
Okay.
money towards
Okay,
working
if you
compared to a
look
guy.
up the statistics and you don't look at the context behind them, yeah, there's a wage gap, but you have to look at why
You
there's
have to
a wage
look at
gap.
everything. Yeah, you can't just look at one thing.
But why would you? So what would be like an example of the wage gap that
There's
it would be
lot more,
lower?
like, stay-at-home moms compared to dads, right?
I mean, yeah, I can see that.
Well,
That's
okay,
like
so
the most basic one, but like, there's a
okay,
lot
so
more.
there is a wage gap, but it's not because like it's not because of women are lesser than men. It's because
Nope.
usually there's less women in whatever profession they're trying to do. Therefore, it's harder for them to get jobs.
I don't know. I feel like I'll see way more women working than compared to men, and that's just what I see.
What they say, like, you know, in like administration and higher ups, like there's not very many women. I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes it's depending where you're at too. I feel
it
like
depends on where you're at.
in New York, there's a lot of
I feel like
a lot
the
of girls
women
that's in
that
the top
see,
places.
like in power though, like they're also not like. I know this is gonna sound fucked up, but like they're not really like super like emotional towards like business or anything. Like they're more like
What you
more
mean?
hard, I guess. Like I guess. you could
Oh, I
say.
get what you're saying. All right. Yeah, I mean,
Like
yeah.
they have like a more of like a tough guy, like tough like person attitude towards like the business, and like they're willing to like stick up for themselves and like
they're not. They're not. I feel like you're trying to like. Are they not there
I'm
for
not- I feel like
the
I'm
emotion
not
side? They're
wording it
there for the
properly.
business side. So they're not really
Yeah.
let emotions take over them. They're just doing it strictly business. Yeah, I agree.
I wasn't wording that right, but yeah.
what gender we are to be able to be paid equally or just be treated with respect. So, yeah.
I don't
do
believe in that.
Of course, there are biological differences between men and women. And of course, there should also be legal equality. Of course, I disagree with the idea that women face systemic discrimination. You just mentioned the wage gap, which has been debunked so many times.
I've studied evolutionary biology quite a bit, and men and women are very different from not just a physical, you know, the bone.
I just can't take him serious. Even though he could probably know what the fuck he's saying, I can't take him serious, bro. You can't have you walking out here with a Spider-Man sweater talking about I study all this shit. Nah, man.
Structure, the neurological department as well as the chemical balances, and also I don't believe that men and women are equal under the law either, or they should be rather. Children are not equal under the law, and it's not because we hate children, it's because we love them and we want to protect them.
So if you believe we're not equal, then that you're inferring that one would be greater than the other.
Well, so let me.
So that's
See that's the problem when you get into like
Not what that means.
yeah, that's the problem that a lot of people like just because they feel like they again like it's a defensive tactic where you're just trying to say like you're just trying to bring it back to a certain point. Like
Yeah.
you nobody here probably I didn't even think that he was trying to say one is greater than the other. It's like no, we're just not
Right.
equal in certain boundaries in certain places. But it's like when you know somebody's winning the argument, you're coming with a defense tactic, and he said it right though. Like
Chime in with my perspective.
yeah.
He
As far
could have
as not
used like
being equal,
he could have worded
I
it
don't
better.
think
to
that
be
that
fair,
necessarily means inferior or superior.
yeah, wipe your lip, my guy. You got something. You got a little something there, right? Like a bump. You got a bump on your lip.
Childbearing, a woman is going to be far more productive and a lot more nurturing than, say, a man. And when it comes to doing a lot more of the heavy lifting and the work, a man is probably going to be more suited for that role. And I don't think that that makes them any better or worse. We are just built, created, and born different.
I would also like to elaborate. I am not saying that they are worse overall or better overall.
They complement
like
each
he
other.
said, yeah, they do.
complement each other
You know,
beautifully.
They work very well together.
We
when
need
they
each
are.
other. For
She mad as shit. She look like she about to get up and start swinging. She lost. She don't know she don't know why she even here.
for offspring. I mean, that's part of the beauty of it, and I think trying to equalize them and make them the same, and transition and all that, I don't believe is going to be the most conducive when it comes to the family raising children, but also just for overall well-being.
I want to note that you brought up children being unequal to adults. I just hope you weren't comparing women to children.
It's another defense tactic. He literally was not. He literally was not.
He didn't word it properly, but I understood what he meant. Like, he worded it properly.
Derek is not dressed for the occasion.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he's supposed to be here anyway in this conversation, but he's coming with facts, and she's just coming with a defense because she knows that what he's saying is facts. Yeah, like he's not saying that. He's making a whatever, man. He's making like an example. He's sending an example, and you're just.
I don't need you to protect me. I just need
They're
you
just
not
taking
to
that
harm
shit
me.
and
I
running
can
with it.
protect myself.
You see this? Look.
Okay. I don't need you to protect me. I just need you not to harm me. I can protect myself. I'm
I don't
very
think Derek
capable
going out
of
and
doing
harming
what I need to
anybody,
do.
bro.
But like, you see how defensive and like
I don't need you to
he's not saying that though. Like,
protect
I mean, he put an example out of that.
me. I just need you not to harm me. I can protect myself. I'm very capable of doing what I need
I'd
to
be
do.
like, all right, when I'm walking down the street and I see you getting mugged, I'm gonna keep on walking.
Sure. 100%.
He like, I don't like. I ain't even gonna get into this. I am.
I am an incel.
What the fuck is Jacob doing on his tail, bro?
my God.
What's an incel?
Yo, it's like, fuck. I don't know like the actual definition, but like, it's someone who's like just gets cucked all the time.
I think we're different.
They don't
And
get
they
no
have
pussy
aspects that
or
are
nothing like that.
superior to men as well. It's just very contextual on the subject.
Toxic masculinity is real.
I felt like they're just gonna step up for everything. Anything that's like,
I think that toxic masculinity is definitely a real thing. It's kind of just the idea of what masculinity should be, but it goes wrong a lot of the times, saying that violence, sex, power, being a controlling person makes you a man.
What does it mean when you walk
In
up?
very unfortunate places.
that you agree.
That you're just talking, or you agree with?
You agree with it.
I think it's the first people that walk.
Whoever walks up agrees with agrees whatever the census is, and then they come up after to counter it.
It's like when the young men or boys in my family, even from like toddler age, are told you shouldn't be crying. Boys don't cry. And what that turns into, I see it when I'm in a bookstore and a guy who tries to get my number says, why y'all always gotta act like that? And he sincerely had this like cracking voice, like he was hurt, but it was an entitlement. And that's toxic masculinity. It's saying like, you don't realize how your behavior is harmful.
That's why you don't talk to him.
What does toxic masculinity mean? Is it character traits? Is it upbringing?
The suppression of feeling for a lot of men, because throughout childhood they're told man up. So because of that, there's a lot of repression. Repression then is usually channeled into anger for some people because they don't not always know how to express because they're told
I like
to
how
express.
I love how other
Grabbing
people.
me, bruh.
I love how other people like to talk for other people.
So upbringing.
And then when you ask when you ask the person that they're talking for, they're like, "What the fuck?" Like, no, like, what the fuck is she talking about? Like,
And
That's part of it.
environment. Okay.
Yes.
But not something that's inherently a part of
No.
She just described me right
I
there.
think that when you're showing your emotion,
but you've been told to get man up, and now when I tell you that, you get mad, start catching tantrums, huh?
especially
No, I
to,
just
like,
I have no empathy.
random people,
I mean, listen.
women in some
Girl tells me
cases,
that all the
they
time.
will view you
It's
as
just a
weak.
switch. I
was
just turn it
raised
on
by
and
a
off.
single mother. I love her. She's my mom. I love her. But I could have used being told to act like a man. I think back, there were some cases where I was too emotional, and that negatively affected how I, what happened to me. And,
May I ask a question?
Sure.
What is your definition of weak as a man?
Not being as forward as you could be, not being as honest, or trying to be not as emotional as you don't need to be. You don't have to cry over a cut. I know, sometimes cuts.
I guarantee you, right? I can guarantee you, right? If any of these girls are in a relationship, right? I'm not saying they are or not, but if they're in a relationship and their man was constantly crying over arguments and any bullshit that happens, I guarantee you one of them say, "Yo, man the fuck up. What the fuck are you crying for?" Like, yo,
Yeah, it's definitely a huge double standard.
like, you can't.
But sometimes it's
The thing about it
necessary
though,
to
like,
be strong for the benefit of not just yourself.
thing about it, they keep talking about like emotion. She was talking about emotions and like suppressing emotions. It's not necessarily bad. I think everyone should have like should
shouldn't
train
be
them. You
butthurt
should
over,
train.
like,
No,
the
everyone
smallest
should be able to turn their emotions off. Like me, I can literally like somebody could piss me off, and I could just not care. Like a minute later, like it doesn't matter. But the thing is, no one makes good decisions when emotions are at play. Like
That's
that's just
true.
how it is.
That's true though.
Like
That's 100%
when
true.
you're trained, like you go to Spec Ops, that's one of the first things they train you for is to
Mhm.
get your emotions out of the way.
That's true.
Facts, yeah.
Yourself, but for the people around you, you know. It's fine to act emotional in certain cases, but I don't think it's fine to act that way with a woman. Maybe, you know, you have a really good friend and he sees you cry, like, you know, he's your best friend and you're crying about something really personal. I think that's fine.
I feel like you're conflating two different situations because you started off with saying a random person or even women. So it feels like, okay, this is a woman that you don't have a bond with or any type of relationship with. And then you mentioned, or in front of your best friend. You know, that's okay to cry. Well, that woman could be your best friend. That, you know, like, so,
I don't think you
and
can be friends with
again,
a woman, so.
Wait, what?
because you
I don't
that,
understand
you know,
what they're
like,
talking about.
So
I don't. Yeah, it's curving a little. It's curving.
Friends with a
again,
woman.
He said, "I don't think you could be friends with a woman." I disagree. That's a weird motherfucker right there. Now
because you don't see us as equal, as you said before.
I don't think showing emotion.
she literally just shot his whole shit down, and he.
I don't even know what they were talking about right there. I was lost.
I was lost like a tad bit, but he should have never said what he just
I don't
said.
think showing emotions is a sign of
said
weakness.
what
and-
you can't
He's
do,
pretty much trying to say, like, the whole sum it up. He's trying to say that to not show, he thinks it's okay to show emotion as a man, but to not show it to, you know, your girlfriend, your wife, or whoever, or to a woman itself. So
I mean, it's kind of
and
like the opposite, but yeah.
and she just saying, like, well, you saying that you show it to your friend, but what if that, or the random person, but you can't show it to a woman, and what if that woman is your friend? And he just said that you cannot be friends. He don't think you can be friends with a woman, and she just literally shot everything this man came here for, and she said, well, that's what makes you think that we're unequal.
That's just because he ain't never got no puss before.
That motherfucker there, he ain't never seen no pulse before. That's why.
Yeah, that's why. That's why.
His hand jerking on. Look at him.
That's okay to cry. Well, that woman could be your best friend. That, you know, like
Before you
so-
can have
and again,
a successful relationship with any girl,
because you don't see
you
us
have
as
to
equal.
learn how to become friends with. You just have to learn how to be friends with girls.
Yeah, but like
That's it.
every you don't make friends with a girl just to, you know, later on have a relationship. Like,
No.
they're like, yo, I never understand that shit.
You gotta learn how to be friendly to someone.
And I
don't think it matters to like
I know mad people that just become friends with girls to smash later on. Like,
Yeah.
yo, that's like 90% of fucking New York, right? So I never understand that shit. Like, yo, why the fuck can you just be like it's always like a secret thing at the end.
Can't
You
do
know what I'm
that,
saying?
bro. I be feeling bad.
Well, as you said.
Feeling bad about what?
like cheating and shit.
No,
Nah, it's not about
like,
cheating.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't cheat, but
No, I
Like,
mean
yeah,
like
I
trying
guess.
to like be friendly with a girl just to like get with her. And
oh, like yeah. That's I
But
feel
like,
that's a little fucked
but
up.
like you know,
My
It's a
friends
secret
say,
agenda.
"Oh,
You just
whatever."
have a little secret agenda, and it's weird. Like, I feel like that's a
what I'm
weird
saying,
thing.
Like
And,
I would feel bad. Like it's just fucked up.
and it's just like you go through this whole. I mean, like, listen. When you, I don't know. It can get way more deeper than that, but it's not the conversation right now for that.
I don't think showing emotions is a sign
Depends
of
on your
weakness.
maturity
I actually
level,
think it's
honestly.
a sign of strength. Men do live shorter lives, and that's because of a repression of emotions, and that's due to many things that
He like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It has been shown that a person's well-being, their lifespan is shortened when they are not able to express their emotions. In addition, when they
Yeah, I
don't
learned
have
about that shit
physical
in
touch,
psychology,
or when
or
they
whatever
don't
shit
have
Yeah.
a partner
I
to
did in
keep
high
them
school.
company.
It's
We're
just 'cause
human
your
beings
stress
here.
is always
We need to
Yeah.
talk to each other. And if you
Constant
think
stress
that our
isn't
health
good for
isn't
nobody.
affected when you're not
Yeah.
able to express that you are sad or upset, you're wrong. I think that men's rights activists are only men's rights activists as a response to women expressing that they want more equality. I don't think they focus on actual men's rights
Affirmative.
issues, and rather it's just an attack on women and feminism.
I don't think I've heard an argument from a feminist that actually wants equality.
Yeah.
Like they always want something more,
Of course.
some type of double standard.
Excuse me. Yeah, I don't know.
More advantages than men.
I think it weighs it out, bro. Like the scale is never gonna be
Wait,
what one person.
question?
I think women have more advantages than men.
Women have more advantages than men.
Societal, yeah.
But I don't think so. I think it definitely has, it's definitely equal there. Not equal as in like,
It just really depends. I mean, like
it has they both have their own things to make it equal.
Pros and cons that equal out.
Yeah, like it's not equal in certain things, like, you know.
Like I'll give you an example. Like here in Louisiana, right? No,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter if somebody breaks into your house. If they don't have a lethal weapon and are trying to hurt you, you cannot kill them.
Mhm.
If somebody broke into my house right now,
you can't fight back at all.
yeah, somebody broke into my house right now, I'm still gonna shoot them. Like either way, I'll go to jail for probably manslaughter. But if it was a girl and she kills them, she's not going to jail. Even though it's the same law and it still applies the same way, but you know, she's not going to jail. That's just how it is.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess. It just should, I don't know. Let's see. But the thing is with these type of conversations, girls are gonna see what they see, and then the guys gonna see what they see, and it's just gonna be a back and forth thing. It's almost like religion and science. Like they're only gonna see what they see, and they're gonna see what they see. So
it's gonna be hard to change.
I just feel like people they're not
traditionally men
coming
and
into
women
it with
have
an
been able
open
to
mind.
serve
For
in
sure
and
they're
women
not,
to
yeah.
they don't come in when they're
Definitely
open
not.
mind.
these things, right? Because we've had such a strong advocacy for equal representation in the workplace. Whereas, for example, you'll never find a man as a midwife nurse, and I don't think it's appropriate. That's why there are those differences.
Women in like the most important parts of society have an advantage. There's a lot of positions that men simply aren't getting hired at anymore because of the fact that they're a man. And it's not just in the workforce. It's also, I would say, it's a lot easier for a woman to find a relationship, even if she.
I feel like they're not even agreeing with him at this
I
point.
feel like he needs to, if he's gonna state stuff like that, he needs to give examples behind them, because he's not. You can't say, "Oh, there's positions that men can't get that women can," and just keep going on.
If anything, it's like I think it's men can pretty much get any job women can, but women can't get all the jobs that men have.
That's true. That's 100% true.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It really isn't. But sometimes for a lot of guys, finding a girl at all is hard.
Yeah, for you.
I have to consider
just
what
go
I
outside
wear
the club, I
before
don't know.
stepping out the house, because I don't want to draw some type of attention. I don't know how many other men have to consider, is this outfit going to be deemed safe for me? Any situation that I have experienced
Cover up.
where, like, I physically.
But that's a whole argument.
Nah, I'm sorry, but like women that walk around like that, like a lot of shit, like rape is just rape, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't get that argument. Like,
I mean,
I don't
listen.
either. Like, you walk down the street with your ass hanging out, like.
It's a two-way street, and it's always gonna be a back and forth, for the simple fact that you can say, "Yo, you don't want to be touched, cover up." Then it's like you're gonna say, obviously they're gonna say like, "Well, I shouldn't have to cover up in the first place. You shouldn't just be touching me at all." And you can't really disagree with any of them. So you just gotta be like, it's just all right. You should have one street, two-way street, just go. That's it. Like you can't really.
The way I always look at it though is like. I always say, like, cause I always have this good argument with girls, all the people around me. I mean, look, if you're dressing that type of way, like, obviously you're asking for attention. No matter, it doesn't matter. Like, that might not be who you're asking attention from, but like you're still drawing attention to yourself, and that's your own fault.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the same side, you still shouldn't.
And yeah, at the same side, like the sheep people
Like,
shouldn't be doing it. So like,
Right.
so that's what I'm saying. It's always gonna be a back and forth thing because at the end of the day, you can't disagree to what she's gonna say, and she can't disagree to what you're gonna say. Because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you shouldn't dress like that because you don't want attention. Shouldn't bring that much attention to yourself. But yeah, you shouldn't be touching me in the first place, man.
Look,
like you shouldn't be doing it.
The solution is you get you a concealed carry license. You get you a little.
And start shooting motherfuckers.
You get you a little 380 in your purse. You get you some pepper spray on your keys. Get you a fucking taser on your keys, and you're all set.
Yeah, but
That's true.
Endangered simply because I don't want to give my number out. It's part of that entitlement.
Nah, there is a lot of fucked up shit that happen in New York that motherfuckers will go up to girls and ask for their number and they'll give it. They'll literally shoot them. The girl got shot I don't know, a couple months ago for not giving up her number. Motherfuckers, they get for real, like real weirdo shit, and they would get stabbed and some like shit for not giving their numbers up, which is like that shit don't happen to a guy. That's one thing you can't say that doesn't happen to a guy. No girl gonna shoot a nigga for not giving up his number. All right, but people do that, especially in New York, bro. That shit happens so much, and that shit is weird, bro.
You're not
that's
entitled
some real weird shit.
a conversation with me. You're not entitled to my number.
That aside, it's like, are you gonna make one example of the entitlement of men when it comes to asking for your number be the all-encompassing thing that all men have a problem when it comes to approaching women?
Well, firstly, it's not just an example. It's not necessarily all men. I don't dislike men. I love sports. I play video games. I have bros. I hang out with dudes.
See, you see what's wrong right here too? She's saying, I love sports. I love playing video games. But it's like, so you just tying that only like, if I would be like, oh, I love women. I love going out to drinks and doing this and that. It's like, oh, so you assuming that women only do that? Like, you can't, you get what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that. You can't do that.
Realize that if you have friends that are having locker room talk, as a man, as an ally, please say something to your friends.
Do you think?
But yo, girls do the same shit too. They talk so much shit.
Way more shit than guys, bro. Guys would be like, yeah, man, I hit that shit. It was nice.
Bro,
girls will be talking about that shit for 3 hours.
Yo, ain't no. I tell you right now, ain't no nigga in my experience, in me living, no nigga that's with his girl gonna come like, yo, man, I did this with my girl, did that with my girl, this, we was fucking last night, because nobody want to give that information to they friends. Like, nobody want to put that image in another man's head, like, yo, he was fucking his girl. Like, why would I want to give you the image in my girl getting, like, yo, girls would tell their friend, like, yo, yeah, we just, like, yo, that shit is weird. Like, I don't, and they talk way more shit than guys. Locker room, that shit is all fabricated, and it came from TV shows and fucking movies. That shit doesn't really happen like that.
That's really the solution here, though. If it's in a healthy male space,
I don't think that's healthy. I think it's
no,
toxic in itself.
I mean, if you're making jokes and you're doing all of that.
Jokes that are harmful jokes are not healthy because they just lead to people normalizing things. People always say, oh, it's just a joke, but when someone else hears it, they don't realize how that resonates, and again, how that turns into violence. Like, this is not an isolated situation. I'm only thinking of 3 off the top of my head, because if I think of too many, it's gonna. She
got a bunch of brothers. That's what it is. She got a bunch of brothers, and she hear them every time they talking shit in the room. She's like, "Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!" I'm tired of this shit.
So what's the alternative? Men shouldn't talk about these things.
No, I think men can have a healthy dialogue. I don't think men have to be toxic in order to have a conversation. I know plenty of men that are able to have conversations about healthy.
But give an example of they keep referring to the toxicity, but like I still don't understand what they're talking about when they say toxic. Like, I don't understand how that's toxic. That's normal.
It's normal, and it's normal for both sides too. Yeah. It could be a little bit of toxic though, but it's the fact that it's discussed with the group.
I just think they're talking about the wrong issues.
Yeah.
It's not relevant.
These questions are fucking awful.
Yeah.
Productive things, just like women are.
Well, it's not obviously something that I have personal experience with, but only 1% of all people on the death row are women in this country. So when women and men commit identical crimes, women are much more likely to, for example, escape the death penalty. And that's just plain sex-based discrimination.
That I agree on.
It's true. Look, I'm thinking about basic needs, like around the globe, the women who don't even have like proper like sanitary like products.
I mean, I have to agree. Just small things like a tax on a box of tampons. Do you think I choose to do this monthly? No.
So you don't want they don't want taxes on tampons.
I don't want tax on condoms.
I don't, like, she's like, you think I choose to do this? You think I choose to take a shit? Why do I gotta get taxed on that shit? You think
What the paper cheap? What?
Yeah, why the fuck is my toilet bowl fucking, I gotta go buy one. I didn't choose to fucking piss.
On my water bill.
Yeah.
Exactly, like, we don't choose to eat. Why do I gotta pay for it? Like, you're not making no sense, and you're sounding needy. That's all it sounds. You just sound needy, and it's like I don't know, man.
Trust me. So why should I have to pay taxes when this is a medical necessity?
We're just like dismissed. A lot of our symptoms.
Capitalism. That's why.
Especially women of color, but women across the board are just treated a lot less equally.
I'd say that I'm an advocate for what I believe the role that men play in society. I believe that their views should be expressed openly, that they should be given a platform to do so, and I believed in men unapologetically and unashamedly being men as we were created.
I think in my heart that there are things that men are entitled to. I am all about human rights, and I do consider the rights of every human, but every time I hear of a men's rights activist, I hear anger and I hear very illogical reasoning, and it just boils my blood.
Backwards.
It really is backwards, though. I'll say that.
I feel that the other side does not understand my values.
Watch all three of them get up.
Everybody, all of them goes there. Yeah. Both sides, yeah.
I think a lot of times when a movement is created, the other side thinks that they're being attacked.
I don't like how they're referring to them as
She said,
activists.
The thing is, she's saying that she think when a movement is created, she feels like the other side being attacked. But anytime a guy speaks on what a woman has and a guy doesn't have, they feel like they're automatically being attacked and have to jump into the straight defense mode. That happened a couple times in the video already. Jump into the defense mode and put words in people's mouths or just say random things to make themselves feel better in the conversation and make it feel like they're not wrong. And it's shown a lot. Like,
feminism is about at all. What do you need a whole men's rights activism movement for? I'm sincerely confused.
Well, I mean, like, I will advocate for positive masculinity and what
men
should represent and healthy outlets for men. Like, I still think the Boy Scouts should be exclusively the Boy Scouts, for example. One of those things.
His face.
So I would like to think that we could get some common ground.
I mean,
The clear biases that are in the court system, especially in the marriage and family court system, right? And right there is what I would advocate for when it comes to men's rights.
The things that stand valid, like that I'm hearing from y'all that are like valid to me, come from a place of like, I am treated like unfairly by the system, versus a lot of the things women are saying. It's also America and the system as well, but a lot of it is like harm from men.
How and where?
How and where what?
Where's this harm from men coming from?
Okay, it started when I was young. I'm not gonna talk too long. I was 16, got a bottle thrown at me because I told a boy no. It started when I was in a club, a boy touched me, I said no, he kept touching me, got to the point he got violent. It gets to the point that the only reason why a man decided to stop touching me in the bookstore I talked about earlier is because he realized my husband was not too far away. And he said, sorry, bro, never said sorry to me. That's why, and that's off the top of my head. This is why I get upset, because I'm like, I'm here to talk about like
all of their
how you
issues are
feel,
societal
but when
issues.
you just dismiss the fact that women actually have experiences,
There's no fixing
that's when it
that.
seems like it's
not,
about
there's
more
no
always
rights.
gonna be people.
You can't fix.
There's always gonna be fucking jackasses.
You can't fix stupid people.
You can't fix stupid.
You can't. If something.
Been saying that shit since I was little. You can't fix
Like,
stupid.
fuck, her husband should have gone and socked that guy in the jaw, to be honest.
It's not even that though. You just can't fix somebody else's mental problems. If he gets mad and throws a fucking bot at you because you didn't want to say to give him his number. He's fucking. Something's wrong with that guy. It's not. He's like, oh yo, fuck women. Like it's something wrong with him. That's what it is. It's something wrong with that guy. So. Hey, you got people that's just something wrong with them. You got people that normal. They're like, hey, can I have your number? No, okay, they will keep pushing. But you're not gonna talk about those times because those times don't impact you as more than a guy trying to throw a bottle at you.
Meaningful.
Yeah, they're not meaningful. So you can't blame men's rights and men for stupid people that do stupid shit. It's just them.
And that's where I get pissed off, because how dare you tell another human being that their experiences, what they're telling you right in front of your face, is not valid.
I didn't say they were invalid.
When did you say
I said
that?
How and why. I'm trying to understand.
How and why?
more
Because
sense.
it happened. It happened many times. It happened yesterday.
That's
It
why I
happened
was
the day
asking
before.
for
I
her to
think some of the
explain that,
things
no?
that you guys are touching on,
Yeah.
such as the court system and gender roles, are a subject of patriarchy, and that's part of what women are trying to dismantle, is those traditional gender roles.
Are there any feminist organizations that have done anything, for example, to challenge bias against men and fathers in
Yes,
the family court system?
absolutely.
Can you please give me like a list of feminist advocacy organizations
Look.
that have engaged in any meaningful advocacy to address those issues? Because there are actually none.
Yo, listen. yo. Before she even make an excuse why she couldn't, he like, nah, you gonna talk.
No.
Advocacy
Look.
organizations that have engaged in any meaningful advocacy to address those issues, because there are actually none.
Okay, I know that you came with your little research or whatever. I didn't
Oh.
come
I know it. She like I know what you came with your little research in it, all that shit. But look, you ain't gonna come at me like that, man. You ain't gonna come
with a
like.
list of like feminist organizations.
See, look, she's looking around. Look, instantly,
She's looking for someone to help.
instantly when let me not even say it. When
Activated.
when they losing an argument, you just see like a lot of people don't know when to be wrong, so they have to automatically put up the defense for them to make it seem like in their mind that they're winning the argument. She sees that she's losing it. Now she's looking around and making it seem like he's bugging around, like he's bugging out. Like, why is this guy
I
aiming
didn't
to?
come with a list of like feminist organizations, but I know actively that there are women's organizations that are trying to dismantle those inequalities.
Just one name, just one
Again, I
organization.
didn't come with a list.
Yo,
She didn't come. But
That's one.
he's not even being like the thing is he's asking a legitimate question that involves what she's saying. You can't come up there and like, oh, I can't be like, oh, mass shootings are only 10% of the whole world. They're like, all right, where's the fact to that? Oh, I didn't come with the fact. I'm just saying, like, you can't just say something and not have the fact to it, or at least say the name where he's asking. You can't, and then you're getting so defensive where she's trying to mock him, and like, you see how it is. You see.
Just one
Again, I
organization.
didn't come with a list, my dude.
There are no such organizations.
Again,
You see it?
In what ways are men's rights at risk?
I think there has been significant progress over the last decade or so, especially in the legal field, but I think there are still significant disparities that need to be addressed, such as poor health conditions, bias against men in the criminal justice system, bias against men in family courts, and bias against men in the educational system, especially in colleges.
Men and women should be allies.
The fuck kind of question is that?
Yeah, these questions are dumb as
men,
fuck.
unfortunately, many of them don't want to even have this open dialogue that we're sharing right now. We need men to help be allies,
Cap.
to help speak to other men.
Yeah, big
It
cap.
strikes me like the way you phrase this, you almost want men to say certain things that you want them to say.
Exactly.
As opposed to maybe actually listening to what they're saying.
What makes it come off like what he said to you is like, you know, like in a relationship, like, why don't you say you love me? Like those type of things. Like it makes it seem like she's just she wants men to say things that strike her thoughts and what she proves only. Like she don't give a fuck what anybody else got to say, which they have to say. She wants them to say exactly what she wants them to say, and it don't work like that.
Like just kind of like men being allies, men talking to other men, etc. I'm completely okay with that, but I'm not going to repeat like feminist talking points to other men.
We all believe different things. We may be under the label of men's rights activists, but for example, I'm probably the most traditionalist person here. I think we should be allies, but maybe us being allies in a patriarchy wouldn't be so bad. You know, us going back to the past wouldn't be so bad. It would probably be a lot happier if we were, you know, getting married and staying married and having kids and, you know, going to church and all that, la-di-da-di-da.
While speaking to the three of you, I feel like they're
The fuck is Derek on, man?
each coming from
I don't know. He's
different
smoking something.
perspectives. So it's hard to, you know,
mean,
again,
it's
just
not-
like the
I mean, he's not wrong what he's saying though. But if you go back to the past,
If you go back, to the
women
past,
rights were
that's
10 times less.
Oh yeah.
If you go back to the past, that literally debunk like
I think he was talking more so about like
having a good like marriage and
gender roles,
yeah, all
like
right.
traditional
like
gender rules.
societal roles.
Okay.
I think that's what he was talking about.
our
But I'm surprised they didn't snap at him about that shit
it's
because I feel like they would have went like, oh, back to the past, we had less rights.
I feel like there are certain things that, even though we're not fully agreeing on it, where things may get lost in translation, our verbiage may not be 100% correct, that we could at least agree on.
Can I ask one question? What would you envision would be the ideal man with the end goal of feminism as far as educating men or working to dismantle whatever patriarchy is? Like, what does that man look like?
It starts with childhood. We have to teach children as well as girls, because we're also taught, because of toxic masculinity, what a man should be as well.
I think that we just need to hold men accountable. In order to kind of make progress, we need help from people that will listen. Because let's be real, when we express our
None of them
concerns,
have
a lot of
answered
men
his
are
question.
But
yet.
wait. She said we should
None of
hold.
them have
They're
answered his
avoiding
question
it.
yet.
used to listen, but they would be more likely to listen to another man.
Do you also feel like you have an ethical obligation to challenge other women or other feminists when, for example, they deny that men face discrimination?
When it comes to things like, oh, men can't be abused, I've had this conversation with another
That's
woman,
cap,
and
bro.
it's the
I've been
idea that
abused.
just because a man may be physically stronger than us, does that mean they cannot be
She abused me because she knew
abused?
I wouldn't hit her
And
back.
because of that, again, fairness, women need to be held
I
accountable.
ain't gonna lie, bro. I done seen a couple girls beat the shit out of some guys, bro.
I've been beating the shit out of her, bro.
Like, but guys
I
be.
damn near broke my fist on her ass. 'Cause I hit her so hard in the ass.
Whoa!
She socked me in the jaw.
Damn.
Oh my lord.
Listen, I don't
I
watch.
hit her as hard as I could. in the
I
ass.
don't watch guys generally try to fight back and lose bad, like get stomped out by a girl. Like,
Well,
Man.
I want to understand their viewpoint as a woman and a woman of color.
she doesn't want to understand their viewpoint because anytime they come with something that's winning an argument, they're gonna get to that defense and try to backfire with nonsense.
I
Yeah.
know how it feels to be disenfranchised, so I want to understand why they feel the need to have a men's right movement.
They're sitting here like, wow,
I don't think there's ever a time in my life where a person says they're hurting and I don't at least try to listen or understand. My only thing is that I want the same in return. So when I'm genuinely saying I'm hurting or I've been through something, and it's not just a personal experience because I actively do this work and surround myself with women saying I've been hurt by a man before. I get that you have stories, but I mean, that's actually my question. I haven't heard y'all stories. Like, I've sat up here and said I have 3 on the top of my head. I haven't got
Yeah, but the thing, like, we're not gonna,
don't need to go
we
into
don't need
that.
it, but it's not that we don't need
not
to go
relevant.
into it. We don't
not
need to
relevant.
go bring up stories about random women in our lives and blame every other single girl.
yeah, exactly. Like they don't need to go into those stories
you-
to argue this.
You can't. I can't drive a Hellcat, and just because that one broke down, like, oh yo, fuck Hellcats, bro. All them shit suck. Like, I can't just because of one experience with some person or just a group doesn't affect everything else. Like, it's not gonna do that.
Say though, those rear diffs on them Hellcats, they like to break. They do like to grenade.
Exactly. And I haven't heard y'all say this is what happened to me.
I don't think that I'll ever invalidate a woman's feelings when she says, hey, I've been abused or whatnot. I don't think any of us here are rightfully saying that. But I think what's dangerous is when emotional testimony that may not always be what it is gets, you know, creates bias, right?
He's trying to say that in the nicest way possible.
Empathy for women being
He's trying to say shit the nicest way possible.
lost, being misguided. Look,
He just don't know how.
What is he saying?
Huh?
Especially
Whoa, whoa. Wait.
all women are lost. No, or am I
being
bugging?
misguided. Look,
Is gets, you know, creates bias, right?
okay, I feel empathy for women being lost. Being
Okay, I thought I was
misguided.
bugging.
I don't know.
What the fuck is he doing here?
Dude, this guy.
What the fuck is?
Yo, I'm
What
convinced
the
he has
fuck
never
is Derek
spoken
in
to a
this
woman.
show for, bro?
Man,
I'm convinced he has never spoken to a woman before this.
for real, he's got balls, bro. I would
Bro,
never say
look
that
at
to
her
him. I get-
face. She about to two-piece him. Look, she like, I can't believe why. Look
I
at,
can't. Look at him hoop.
look
she got
at,
on, bro.
look at what she look. She had
No,
to,
you-
she had to turn her head real quick. Like, I don't know what the fuck is this guy talking
Any
about.
bit of empathy for anything we said up here?
Yes.
Damn.
I really do feel empathy for
Why was that so hard to say? Like for the stuff that we said, do you have any bit of empathy for the stories I said up here?
Yeah,
I just want to know.
I do.
Like I'm not even trying to be hostile. I just genuinely want to know.
Yeah, I just think that like a lot of the problems.
She not trying to be. She definitely trying to be hostile.
Society is not patriarchal. It's not traditional. It's we're gone. We're lost. We're in a fallen state, right?
There is a change of guard.
You can't
Not
say that
necessarily
with a
change of guard,
fucking
but
smile on your
change of
face,
guard.
though.
Yeah, I don't. It's his
Yeah,
facial
he's not-
expressions.
we're in a
He-
He's having the time of his life right now. He's in a fucking playground. Think he's talking to fucking I don't know who, bro.
Because
Like,
he's looking at women. He's never seen a woman before.
if you want to look at if you sit like even though he came with certain good certain good points in this whole thing, but if you want to look at a guy that doesn't appreciate a woman, you're looking at the motherfucker right now. It's like you're looking at him right now. This is the guy.
There is a change of guard, not necessarily a change of guard, but things are evolving, things are changing. And I feel like a lot of men speak from a viewpoint almost of fear. A lot of men are having a hard time grasping that and feeling comfortable with it.
I do feel empathy for your personal experience, but I cannot sympathize with your ideological position because that ideological position is built on a fallacy. And that fallacy is actually
Oh, he's
costing.
breaking out the fallacies.
Like very,
Yeah, I don't
very
know what
cost
this guy's
the
saying,
man
bro.
as a class in this country. So I understand that you are here with us as kind of the good feminist, so to speak, that you feel empathy for men, and I believe you, but I do not believe your movement, and I do not believe your ideology.
All right, we'll leave it at that. That's a wrap, guys.
Yeah, we leave it at that. We leave it at that before shit gets. I want to. They gonna avoid him like a motherfucker, bro.
They're gonna go jump him afterwards.
Yeah. Catch him outside in the alley.
Yeah.
Very articulate.
Look at him.
Derek's hand. They ain't gonna
Thank
shake
you.
your hand, bro.
Thanks for your time.
Oh, they are.
Okay. Wow, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Man, Derek, get the fuck. Don't ever come back on the fucking show again, man.
Dude.
That he's a piece of shit. But yeah, that was a good video to watch. I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Make sure you leave a like. Please leave a like. I need a like. Just leave that like. Subscribe if you want, and a comment. Tell me what you think, and say fuck Derek, man. He's a piece of shit. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.